run down, and 8 of them were killed. Good evening, everyone. The special report. I'm Bill Ritter.
And I'm Diana Williams. This horrific attack playing out on the West Side bike path in Lower Manhattan about 3 o'clock this afternoon. And here's what we know at this hour. At least 8 people are dead, 15 more injured, and the suspect was shot by police and now is in custody, and we understand intubated at the hospital. This is now being investigated as an act of terror.
Just moments ago, we received this new photo of the suspect, now identified as 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov. Here's what we know about him, and we're learning more. He's from Tampa, Florida, originally of Uzbekistan descent. Police sources tell us he yelled Allah Akbar several times before they fired on him. We've been showing you this video of the suspect. We're going to show it to you right now as he runs away after he crashed his pickup truck into a mini school bus. Right now, he's at Bellevue Hospital.
This attack left bodies strewn along the West Side bike path, and we blurred some of this video because it is so disturbing to see. It all started on West Street and West Houston. The attacker literally using a truck to mow down people. He used it as a mowing machine and continued all the way down to Chambers Street, several blocks literally of sheer terror.
We've had Ira's News reporters on the scene for the last 3.5 hours covering every angle of this attack. We're going to begin with Tim Fleischer. He was the first on the scene for us. Tim?
And Bill, the deadly nature of this soft target attack still sinking into this Battery Park neighborhood as night has fallen here and trick-or-treaters are out. Certainly, it is a very surreal scene. If we can also go back to that picture of the suspect on the ground after he was shot and wounded by NYPD officers standing over him. He's handcuffed. The threat has been neutralized, but it also speaks to how quick a response the NYPD was able to stop this threat. Earlier, though, the carnage was unbelievable, unspeakable along the West Side bike path. Listen now as we hear some of the first calls for help from responding officers.
Another 53 pedestrian hit at West Street and Chambers. West Street and Chambers. What? Shot fired.
1 Central. We have one in custody. Shot. We need multiple buses over here. Central, be advised, we have multiple people on the ground from Chambers all the way up to Houston. All the way from Houston to Chambers. There's multiple people on the ground, Central. We need buses from Houston all the way down to Chambers. I got 4 or 5 people on the ground. We got multiple casualties. This is a mass casualty situation here.
The response, jarring, to say the least. It was unbelievable to see the flood-in of FDNY EMTs and firefighters, also more police officers surrounding the area, trying to neutralize the threat, making sure there was no more a threat at that particular point in time. Certainly, they were here to help many, many people who were hurt and injured, but sadly unable to help 8 who passed. Reporting live in Battery Park City, Tim Fleischer, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Tim. The sun has set, but the investigation, that is just beginning, really, at this point. And we've got Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan at the corner of Houston and West Street with more. Jim.
Diana, we wanted to give you an idea of just how this unfolded. As police investigate it, they find that the driver of that Home Depot pickup truck was driving south on West Street. Right over here, as he got to Houston, he veered off of West Street and went right onto the bike path. He hit people within 15 feet of getting on that bike path. Again, eventually killing 8 people. It was the softest of soft targets.
Today, there was a loss of innocent life in Lower Manhattan. The dead and injured were just going about their days, heading home from work or from school or enjoying the afternoon sun on bicycles. This is a tragedy of the greatest magnitude.
We know that this action was intended to break our spirit. But we also know New Yorkers are strong, New Yorkers are resilient, and our spirit will never be moved by an act of violence, an act meant to intimidate us.
We will be vigilant. More police everywhere. You'll see them in the airport, you'll see them in the tunnels. It's not because there's any evidence of any ongoing threat or any additional threat. It is just out of vigilance and out of
Governor, they're talking about all the police that will be out tonight. We can see these are investigators. These are the people who will be investigating this scene throughout the night. You can see it will be a long process. They're bringing in lights so that they can light up this scene. They had much of the evening, of course, to look at what was going on, but it's a long crime scene. It's a big crime scene. A lot of police, a lot of investigators here now trying to piece it all together. Reporting live from the West Side, Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
A long crime scene, to be sure, Jim, and that's why Josh Einiger is at another part of that. Josh was one of the reporters. He was the first to tell us on the air at 6 o'clock that those guys in white suits were indeed FBI crime scene investigators. Josh?
Yeah, Bill, we're here about a block away from where this rampage ended at the corner of Greenwich and Chambers, where there's a giant roadblock and large security presence right now that the NYPD has ramped up in the wake of this tragedy and this apparent terror attack. This, as we learn more information about the apparent terrorist. We could show you this picture just after he was taken into custody. Sayfullo Saipov is, as you said, Bill, of Uzbeki descent, 29-year-old from Tampa, Florida. But recently, ABC News has learned he's been living in Paterson, New Jersey. And we've also learned that he rented that truck at a Home Depot in Passaic, New Jersey, before at some point crossing the river and scoping out this bike path for his attack today. We have video also we could show you from an eyewitness of the suspect after apparently he had rammed all those bikers and joggers on that jogging and bike path, crashed into a school bus, and then he was on foot right in the street at the corner of Chambers and West Street, waving around what appeared to be two guns. They were two fake guns, and that is where a police officer opened fire and shot the suspect. He is now reported to be on a ventilator at the hospital, but he is alive and eventually will be standing trial. We did speak to the person who took that video, a student at the Borough of Manhattan Community College, who said he thought he was watching a Halloween prank. Here's what he had to say.
I saw a guy in the West Street and Chambers Street corner. He was like, had two guns on him, and he was just running in the street. I thought he's a Halloween costume or something. So I didn't pay attention on him. I just went to the bridge to see from the top what happened. And then the other students of the Stuyvesants, they told me like he's the shooter and the cops are at him. So suddenly I heard, like, he was still running in the middle of the street. Then I heard 5-6 gunshots. Then we were all down because we were all scared. Then when I come up and see what happened, then I saw the guy who had two guns. He's on the ground and the cops just got him.
Back with a live look right now. We are at a staging area here at the corner of Chambers and Greenwich, where the NYPD Counterterrorism Bureau has staged its own members here, heavily armed with long guns and armor. There are also police dogs here on the scene, ramping up security. This is something, of course, that we are well accustomed to seeing across the city on a normal day, but of course this is far from a normal day. The mayor, the police commissioner have said that they are ramping up security dramatically throughout the city, it being Halloween, the Halloween parade not far away from here, going on as planned tonight. A very busy night in the city after this tragic day of carnage on a bike path in the middle of the afternoon. We're live in Lower Manhattan. Josh Einiger, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Josh, it's just so surprising that it's just still such a huge crime scene there, even though they're standing down in terms of any threats. But this is going to be a crime scene throughout the night, probably into tomorrow. They're not going to leave anything to chance they could examine everything here.
They're not going to leave anything at all, Bill. And in fact, you know, when you covered just a single homicide, that crime scene, depending on the circumstances, could take them 36 to 48 hours to clear. In this case, you've got such a dynamic, enormous scene, and you've also got multiple jurisdictions involved. This, of course, in the end, will most likely be a federal case. So the FBI's evidence recovery team is on scene, but of course the NYPD crime scene unit, all kinds of investigators from the NYPD, New York State Police here as well. So it's a very complex investigation that is only just now getting underway.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, Josh, when and if they get the West Side Highway back open up again, because that's such an important roadway in New York City. But we'll see, when we'll be letting people know, obviously. We have, I'm told, just gotten some new and very important video into Eyewitness News, and we're going to watch this as you're watching this. This is video of the suspect and the actual, what appears to be the takedown of that suspect in Lower Manhattan, happening a couple of hours ago. And it seems to stop there, and then it continues on.
We're seeing it again. This is very racking.
Yeah.
This is after he was shot. We have the still picture you see of the two police officers over him, handcuffing him, and this is the video of that from a very different angle. You see him surrounded
So
by
this is
police
kind
officers.
of with the truck in the way, but we've seen it from that other side angle of the police officers there,
29-year-old
taking down that
Sayfullo Saipov of Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
The chief investigative reporter for ABC News, Brian Ross, is here. You've been looking into him, where everyone's trying to figure out who he is, why he would have done this. Right. Was he radicalized here? You said he'd been here for 7 years.
He came here in 2010 under what's called the Diversity Visa Program. Essentially, it's a lottery for people from countries that don't historically send a lot of immigrants to the U.S. He won the lottery and came here. He lived in Ohio, near Cleveland, in Tampa, and now most recently, we're told, in Paterson, New Jersey. We can tell he appears to have been involved in some used car businesses, with lots in Ohio and perhaps one in Paterson.
So you have to wonder, though, where did the radicalization come from? They're going to be looking at computers, phone records, information from
social
friends.
media.
His Facebook page was up. It just was taken down. We have cached it, so we have it.
Okay.
And we can tell a little bit there. He doesn't seem to be unusually radicalized on the Facebook page. He's got pictures of himself with fancy car rims and wheels, and shots of himself in the rearview mirror with two eyes, but nothing that suggests some sort of allegiance to any terror group. There have been no claims of responsibility so far. There are a number of supporters of ISIS who are celebrating this horrible attack, as often happens. But looking into his past, we'll see what sort of phone calls he made, what kind of connections he made, and they'll be able to tell something from that.
And do we know, does he have family in this country, or is his family all back in Uzbekistan?
At this point, we can't tell whether he's married, has family here or there, but those are the kinds of things that I know the FBI is already at the house in Tampa, where he once lived, and presumably the same thing's going on in Paterson and in Cleveland.
He is not dead. He could have easily been killed because he was shot in the abdomen, so they were not shooting to wound, they were shooting to stop him.
Right.
But he's on a ventilator now. He's been intubated, so he's not going to be talking, but they would like him alive, I would assume, to get as much information as they can, or at least try.
Absolutely. There is a requirement that they can question him without giving him his rights, if they want to see if there are other attacks, if there are others with him, was anything else planned.
But hard to question when he's intubated at this point.
Right, but I do recall after the Boston Marathon, the surviving younger brother there, Tsarnaev, was questioned, and he was in very bad shape, and they still told the doctors they were going to question him. So the big question will be, is anybody else involved with you? Is there a follow-on attack?
I was going to say, we've kind of characterized him as a lone wolf in a way, but we don't know if he is a lone wolf at this point.
At this point, they don't. They think they've made the area secure and safe at this point, but were there others waiting to come?
Absolutely, and it's Halloween. You heard the New York Police Department say we're going to fan more security out because so many people were on the street. You can see it on the streets out here in the Upper West Side. They're everywhere.
Right.
This is a soft target, as Jim Dolan said, the softest of soft targets. We've seen it before. It hasn't really happened here like this. We've seen it in other countries, 8 other attacks this year.
At least, and going back 2 years, you can see attacks that began at Bastille Day in Nice, France, in London at the Westminster Bridge, at the Christmas Fair in Berlin, in Barcelona, in Charlottesville, attacks at Ohio State, and now Halloween night here in New York City.
It is the new reality. There's no hiding from this in some way.
As Commissioner Kelly was telling you, very difficult.
You don't know yet if he took into consideration that this was Halloween, do you?
Do not.
Yeah. All right, Brian Ross. Keep us posted, of course.
Yes,
ABC News Chief Investigative Reporter Brian Ross. Thanks for joining us. All right. Thanks, Joe.
So we're now going to head out to Eyewitness News reporter Lauren Glassberg. She has been out there all afternoon talking to people, talking to eyewitnesses. Right now she's at Chambers and Greenwich, and that is now the police command center that they've set up within the last hour or two. Right, Lauren?
That is right. Chambers Street is open up until Greenwich Street, and then it is closed. And you can still see behind me officers and emergency vehicles. There is a heavy police presence even throughout the streets here in Tribeca. We talked earlier about whether trick-or-treating was still on, and I've seen a number of families going through the neighborhood. Of course, the sirens, the emergency vehicles are a bit startling. It's not what we normally see in this neighborhood. I'm a resident of this neighborhood as well. And for the people who were here earlier in the day, right around 3 o'clock, that's the time where schools let out. Some college students from the borough of Manhattan Community College were sitting nearby when this unfolded, and people were also working in the area. They witnessed what happened as well. So take a listen to how people witnessed and saw this attack.
I see a group, it was 2 women and children. So they're running. I hear one of the young girls say he's got a gun. So at that point I turn around, but around 30 seconds to a minute after that, I start hearing gunshots. So it was probably around 5 to 10 gunshots, one after another, very fast.
And I hear all the noise, and when I go back and I look, I see, a truck a few more blocks down going down the bike path. And for some reason, I went that way. And when I went that way, I seen a couple of bodies laying right there in the bike path. And when I was looking, seeing if there's anybody else, I heard gunshots.
The first thing immediately caught my eye was, I guess it's a Home Depot truck that looks like it ran into something, and it was completely totaled. And then I could see a little bit over to the left of it. It looks like a man was laying on the floor, and EMS was there trying to help him, get him on the backboard.
Was he on the bike path, the man that you saw?
No, this man was over to the left. The bike path stuff happened to my right, and that's where I saw one bike on the floor, another bike next to a person, and it looked like it was run over.
So you heard from a number of witnesses, all witnessing this or the aftermath from a number of different perspectives. The individual who saw the truck going down the bike path, he said to me after, that's an absurd sort of thing to see. You might see a parked vehicle in that area or a police car, but a flatbed pickup truck is highly unusual, and it was going down where the bike lane is. And then it sort of figured in that this is not right. Then he saw the bodies, and that's when he realized just how awful this was. At that point, he only saw 2 bodies, and as we know, the death toll much higher this evening.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Okay, thanks.
Lord, thank you. As we know, death toll higher, now up to 8, and 11 people still in the hospital injured. Yeah. Some of them came to Bellevue Hospital. Sandra Bookman is there with that part of our coverage. Sandra?
Yeah, Bill, there has been a heavy police presence here at Bellevue Hospital for much of the evening, and part of the reason may be because the suspect himself is here at Bellevue, as you guys pointed out, intubated and in custody. Just a few minutes ago, we saw photographs of the suspect being brought into the hospital on a stretcher here, into the emergency room here at Bellevue Hospital. Now, as for the injured, we are told by Bellevue officials that there are 5 of the injured here at the hospital being treated for serious but not life-threatening injuries. That means we suspect that the other 6 injured are at Lower Manhattan Hospital. We can also tell you that emergency responders tell us that there may be other injured coming into area hospitals. They're not sure how many. They say that's because they suspect that there were probably so many people on that bike path this afternoon that many of them may have self-evacuated and may need to be treated for less serious injuries later. That's the latest now from Bellevue Hospital. I'm Sandra Bookman, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Cassandra, we want to turn now to another hospital, New York Downtown Hospital, and we understand some other folks are there as well, and we want to go to AJ Ross, who's there right now live for us. AJ.
That's right, Diana. As Sandra just mentioned, she mentioned 6 people coming here. We're not sure at this point the severity of their injuries, but also, like she mentioned at Bellevue, if you take a look behind me here, there has been a strong police presence here, both inside and outside of Lower Manhattan Hospital here for hours. What we've also witnessed in the last hour has been several members of the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force coming and going, likely interviewing any witnesses and victims inside the hospital here. There, as I mentioned, has been constant movement. We understand there were more people inside this emergency area earlier, but they've cleared those individuals out, probably to another area of the hospital. As the mayor and so many people have mentioned the resiliency of New Yorkers, certainly we have to mention the doctors and nurses stepping up in the face of adversity in horrific situations like this. Those individuals that were brought here, again, we don't know the severity of their injuries, but they are certainly receiving the best possible care at this time. And as we get some more information about who those individuals are, the severity of those injuries, we will certainly be bringing you that information. For now, I'm live at Lower Manhattan Hospital. AJ Ross, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Okay, AJ, thank you for that report. We've been talking about how this was such a soft target. This could happen to anybody, and so many people could do this, just a lone wolf out there. So how big a problem is it? And what really can we do about it? It's a question that we usually often ask of our elected officials, and one of them on the phone right now, U.S. Senator Charles Schumer from New York. He joins us from Washington on the phone. Senator, it's Diana and Bill. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Bill.
Yeah.
So what do you say to your constituents? What do you say to New Yorkers?
Well, look, I mean, the first thing is obviously we're all in mourning for what's happened, and the families hope that those who are injured recover. I guess every thought goes through every one of us. Maybe we know someone who has been killed. Obviously, they haven't released the names yet. So many people. I used that bike path last Saturday. I ride that I often ride my bike from Brooklyn through the George Washington Bridge up that path, and it shows you how vulnerable every one of us is. You know, New Yorkers are resilient. We will bounce back. We won't let these terrorists get their way and change our way of life. We'll never let terror win. But, you know, it's because we haven't had terrorist incidents in New York for successful ones for a while. This is a reminder. It's always with us, and we have to spare no efforts to try and stop it. The lone wolves, the only good news about the lone wolves is since they're not an organized group, they can't do what was done on 9/11. On the other hand, they're much harder to detect because they go online and they get all, sometimes by outside agitation, sometimes by themselves. We don't know if this terrorist had any connection to anyone else yet. Spoken to both the FBI and the commissioner, but they're much harder to detect and stop.
Well, you know, Senator, a lot of people have said this was just a matter of time. Certainly when it comes to any cuts to NYPD police or any of our first responders, you would certainly fight to keep any funding, given incidents like this, and our city is still so vulnerable to this kind of incident.
No question, and we have to fight all the time. I mean, both the Obama administration and the Trump administration tried to cut what's called our UASI funding, our anti-terrorism funding. Bipartisan, Peter King, myself, we were successful in restoring this. But it shows you can't let your guard down in any way. These terrorists are with us and will be with us for a long time. ISIS is losing territory over there in the Middle East, but that may encourage them to do more things like this.
Fear. That's right. Senator, let me ask you this. This is a young man who, as we learn more about him, came from Uzbekistan 7 years ago under some sort of diversity visa where they give visas. We have diversity visas from countries that don't usually have immigrants come to the United States. All this happening, of course, with the controversy over the president's travel ban, court orders notwithstanding. Is this going to give him more fuel for saying, hey, we really do need things like this?
Uzbekistan wasn't on his list.
I understand that.
And so that what we need, I know you do, Bill. So what we need is careful vetting of everyone who comes here, whether they're from Uzbekistan. Look, there are a whole lot of terrorists who are in Belgium and France. And instead of just banning countries and thinking that's safe, 7 countries, you have to look at each individual. That's a much better way to do it.
Okay.
All right, Senator Schumer.
It's just tragic. You know, it leaves a hole in your stomach. It just is.
It has,
Especially a place that's so familiar. My daughter She's now in her early 30s. She went to Stuyvesant. I used the bike path. It's our territory. It's our home.
It is, and I think everybody knows that area so well. Like you, all of us have ridden our bikes or just been down in that area. So thank you for joining us this evening. I think
well,
it's
let's
truly
pray
hard
for the
everyone.
recovery and for the peace of the families.
Absolutely.
It's hard.
Senator Charles Schumer joining us on the phone from Washington, New York senior U.S. Senator. Senator, thank you very much.
President Trump, by the way, tweeting in New York City, looks like another attack by a very sick and deranged person. Law enforcement is following this closely, and in all caps, not in the USA.
All right, he's also saying that we must not allow ISIS to return or enter our country after defeating them in the Middle East and elsewhere. Enough, echoing what Senator Schumer had said.
And First Lady Melania Trump tweeting, "My heart breaks for NYC today. Thoughts and prayers as we monitor the situation."
Okay. Danielle Lee, our investigative reporter, has been out. Lucy Yang is next. I'm sorry. Danielle, I know you were ready to go, but I'm going to go to Lucy Yang, who's always ready to go. She also is in Lower Manhattan. Lucy?
She's actually at the Halloween parade room. Lucy?
That's right, Diana and Bill. The key to any city's resiliency is how quickly it responds to an attack and how well it recovers. And this is the picture of how well New York has recovered just a few hours after this horrible attack. You're looking at the parade route, the spectators along 6th Avenue. New York City officials were determined to keep the Big Apple moving tonight. And because this is Halloween, this is the most celebrated Halloween parade in the nation, officials decided it will go on as planned. I can hear the first band coming up 6th Avenue. We're going to try to show you a shot as they march up the avenue. You can see 6th Avenue here is full with spectators, all with great anticipation to enjoy the evening. It is Tuesday night, a school night, but children are here, and all this just hours after the terrible attack. Of course, there is extra security. It is not easy patrolling a venue like this where faces are covered and crowds are thick, but the NYPD, well, they're trained for this. There's usually heavy police presence anyway to make sure the ghoulish night remains just make-believe, and tonight there will be extra layers of security for sure.
We will proceed with the parade, and certainly we've added more resources, more police officers, heavy weapons teams, block of vehicles on the street leading to the route, as well as more sand trucks. And there's also heavy weapons teams being deployed throughout the city at key iconic locations.
It is important to move on. We're not going to stay stuck into whatever we're feeling in the moment. Of course, if that was happening to my children in a moment, I will be stuck in the moment because it's happening to me, but everybody else right now came for celebrating, and we're wishing the best to those people that got hurt in that moment.
Well, they're moving on. They're moving up 6th Avenue. You can hear them play What Else But New York, and crowd is loving it. Tonight is the 44th annual Halloween parade. Revelers spent all year working on their costumes and dance routines. Families came from all over to watch the spectacle. You can hear some applause breaking out. So again, the parade is on. It was supposed to start at 7 o'clock. You see the governor, the mayor, marching at the front of the parade this year. All of this an important show for New Yorkers to say. The police commissioner also here to say New York is moving on, and they're playing New York, New York. Folks out here certainly very glad this parade was not canceled. We're live in the Village. I'm Lucy Yang for Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
That really is a strong image there, Lucy, seeing our elected officials and our leaders there kind of, leading that parade, because that's so important.
Such a big statement, especially those two who don't usually get along. They are shaking hands tonight along with the police commissioner. I don't think they would have normally been going in that Halloween parade.
We're going to take a quick break, and we are going to be right back here at 7:30 to continue on with our special report about the massacre down in Lower Manhattan. We'll be back after this.
Phil Murphy will raise property taxes, income taxes, sales taxes, and more.
Are there other taxes you would raise to get the revenue necessary to keep your promises?
Yes. The answer is yes. It's a ton of money.
We can't afford Phil Murphy.
Hi, I'm Erin Brockovich. If you were exposed to asbestos while working in construction factories or in the military, there's a $30 billion compensation fund for labor heroes like you, men and women suffering from lung cancer because they were exposed to asbestos, even if you were a smoker. Be smart, do the right thing. Call Whites in Luxembourg or visit asbestosLawyerNYC.com.
Call 800-537-1300. That's 800-537-1300.
My daughter really thrived in pre-K.
The rent freezes have definitely helped.
Stop and frisks don't happen as much anymore.
Stop and frisk has gone down and crime has gone down.
The crime is down, and that's good for business.
I see all this insanity in Washington.
I can't even watch the news anymore. I feel like Mayor de Blasio's got our backs.
He's not going to let Donald Trump tell New York what it can and cannot do.
De Blasio knows this is our seat.
And that's why I'm voting.
I'm voting. I'm voting.
I'm voting on November 7th.
Paid for by de Blasio 2017.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, here comes Christie, the sequel.